Practice reading and listening. Like a boy. A mischievous boy lived in a village that stood in a feet of a hill. One day he thought of having fun at the cost of his fellow villagers. Standing on a high rock, he shouted at the top of his voice, "Lion, lion, come, save me!" The villagers heard the shout and ran to help him. But when they reached there, they could see no lion, and the boy was perfectly all right. The boy laughed at the villagers, saying, "No, lion, I did it only for fun." The villagers got highly annoyed and came back with an ear of anger. Few days later, the boy repeated the whole act. Again, the villagers went to his rescue, but were duped again. Now they decided not to be fooled by him anymore. Unfortunately, one day, the lion really came there. Now the boy shouted, "Lion, lion," as loud as he could. Nobody came to help him out. The lion attacked the boy. The boy struggled hard to save himself, but within few minutes, the beast killed him. So, once a liar, always a liar. Practice reading and listening. The grasshopper. One fine sunny day in winter, a grasshopper was basking in the warm sun. But he was very hungry, as he had not eaten anything since last night. So he looked about to find something to soothe his hunger. Suddenly he saw a peon carrying grain into the hold. He went up to the ant and asked humbly, "Can you please spare a few grain for me? I haven't eaten anything since yesterday. So I am almost starving to death." One of the ants asked the grasshopper, "What were you doing the whole summer? Why didn't you store up the food for the winter season?" The grasshopper replied, "Truly speaking, I spent all the summer singing songs, and that's why I couldn't store anything." The ant checked out a smile and remarked, "Don't done the winter away." The grasshopper pulled a long face and walked away. So we say, work is real worship. Practice reading and listening. The wool in the sheep clothing. One day, a wolf found a sheepskin. He covered himself with the sheepskin and got into the flock of sheep, grazing in a field. He thought, "The shepherd will set the sheep in the pen after sunset. All right, I will run away with a fed sheep and eat it. All went well till the shepherd set the sheep in the pen and left. The wolf waited patiently for the night to advance and grow darker. But then an unexpected thing happened. One of the servants of the shepherd entered the pen. His master had sent him to bring a fat sheep for supper. As luck would have it, the servant picked up the wood dressed in the sheepskin. That night, the shepherd and his guests had the wood for supper. Practice reading and listening. The farmer and his sons. A farmer had 5 sons. They were strong and hardworking, but they always quarreled with one another. Sometimes they even fought. The farmer wanted his sons to stop quarreling and fighting. He wanted them to live in peace. Plain words of advice or scolding did not have much effect on these young people. The farmer always thought what to do to keep his sons united. One day he found an answer to the problem. So he called all his sons together. He showed them a bundle of sticks and said, "I want any of you to break these sticks without separating them from the bundle." Each of the 5 sons tried one by one. They used their full strength and skill, but none of them could break the stick. Then the old man separated the sticks and gave each of them just a single stick to break. They broke the stick easily. The farmer said, "A single stick by itself is weak. It is strong as long as it is tied up in a bundle. Likewise, you will be strong if you are united. You will be weak if you are divided." Practice reading and listening. The wise man. One day, a rich merchant came to Babel. He said to Babel, "I have 7 servants in my house. One of them has stolen my bag and precious pearl. Please find out the thief." So Babel went to the rich man's house. He called all the 7 servants in a room. He gave a stick to each one of them. Then he said, "These are magic sticks. Just now all these sticks are equal in length. Keep them with you and return tomorrow. If there is a thief in the house, his stick will grow an inch longer by tomorrow." The servant who had stolen the bag of pearl was scared. He thought, "If I cut a piece of 1 inch from my stick, I won't be caught." So he cut the stick and made it shorter by 1 inch. The next day, Babel collected the sticks from the servants. He found that 1 servant's stick was short by an inch. Babel pointed his finger at him and said, "He is the thief." The servant confessed to his crime. He returned the bag of pearl. He was sent to jail. Practice reading and listening. The wind and the sun. One the wind and the sun had an argument. I am stronger than you, said the wind. No, you are not, said the sun. Just at that moment, they saw a traveler walking across the road. He was wrapped in a shawl. The sun and the wind agreed that whoever could separate the traveler from his shawl was stronger. The wind took the first turn. He blew with all his might to tear the traveler's shawl from his shoulder. But the harder he blew, the tighter the traveler gripped the shawl to his body. The struggle went on till the winter was over. Now it was the sun's turn. The sun smiled warmly. The traveler felt the warmth of the smiling sun. Soon he let the shawl fall open. The sun's smile grew warmer and warmer, hotter and hotter. Now the traveler no longer needed his soul. He took it off and dropped it on the ground. The sun was declared stronger than the wind. Practice reading and listening. Hare and tortoise. One hare was roaming near a lake in a forest. Suddenly, he saw a tortoise and mocked at him, saying, "Hurry up, you slowcoach! Don't you find life very dull talking too long to cover up your yard? I could have run to the other side of the lake by now." The tortoise felt touched and dared the hare to a race. The race was to be through the wood to a fat goal. The hare agreed laughingly. In a few minutes he was away and out of sight. "What a funny race it is," he said to himself. "I am already halfway through. But it is too cold. Why not have a nap in a warm sunshine?" The tortoise walked steadily on and on. In a short time he passed by sleeping hare. The hare slept far longer than he had intended. When he woke up at last, he looked around in surprise and said to himself, "Not even a sign of the poor tortoise anywhere so far. I had better trot along and finish the race." The hare ran to the goal. He was amazed to see all the animals cheering the tortoise, who had arrived just a minute earlier. How ashamed he felt indeed. Practice reading and listening. To traveler. It was high summer. The sun was extremely hot. Two travelers were going along the dusty road that had no tree along its side, looking for some shelter from the hot sun. They saw a tree with big leaves and branches spread like an umbrella. They placed their belongings on the ground and sat in the cold pig shade for the tree. After taking some rest, one traveler said to the other, "What a useless tree it is! It bears no fruit at all." Hearing this, the tree felt pinched and burst out, "You ungrateful soul! On one hand, you are taking shelter in my cold shade from the burning heat of the sun, and on the other hand, you are calling me useless. Get up and leave the place immediately to be scourged again." Practice reading and listening. The Old Lion. Once upon a time, there was a lion that grew so old that he was unable to kill any prey for his food. So he said to himself, "I must do something to stay my stomach ill. I will die of starvation." He kept thinking and thinking, and at last an idea clicked him. He decided to lie down in the cave pretending to be ill, and then whosoever will come to inquire about his health will become his prey. The old lion put his pig plan into practice, and it started working. Many of his well-wishers got killed, but evil is short-lived. One day, a fox came to visit ailing lion. Our foxes are clever by nature. The fox stood at the mouth of the cave and looked about. His senses worked, and he came to know the reality. So he called out to the lion from outside and said, "How are you, sir?" The lion replied, "I am not feeling well at all." "But why don't you come inside?" Then the fox replied, "I would love to come in, sir, but on seeing all footprints going to your cave and none of coming out, I would be foolish enough to come in." Saying so, the fox went to alert the other animals. Practice reading and listening. The villager and spectacles. There was a villager. He was illiterate. He did not know how to read and write. He often saw people wearing spectacles for reading books or papers. He thought, "If I have spectacles, I can also read like these people. I must go to town and buy a pair of spectacles for myself." So one day he went to town. He entered a spectacle shop. He asked the shopkeeper for a pair of spectacles for reading. The shopkeeper gave him a various pair of spectacles and book. The villager tried all spectacles one by one, but he could not read anything. He told the shopkeeper that all those spectacles were useless for him. The shopkeeper gave him a doubtful look. Then he looked at the book. It was upside down. The shopkeeper said, "Perhaps you don't know how to read." The villager said, "No, I don't. I want to buy spectacles so that I can read like others, but I can't read with any of these spectacles. The shopkeeper controlled his laughter with great difficulty when he learned the real problem of his illiterate customer. He explained to the villager, "My dear friend, you are very ignorant. Spectacles don't help you to read alright. They only help you to see better. First of all, you must learn to read and write. Practice reading and listening." 3 thieves. One night, 3 thieves stole a lot of money from a rich man's house. They put the money in a bag and went to the forest. They felt very hungry. So one of them went to the nearby village to buy food. The other two remained in the forest to take care of bag of money. The thief that went for food had an evil idea. He ate his food at a hotel. Then he bought food for his two mates in the forest. He made a strong poison with the food. He thought, "Those two will eat this poison food and die. Then I will get all the money for myself." Meanwhile, the two rich men in the forest decided to kill their mate on return. They thought that they would divide the money between the two of them. All the 3 wicked men carried out their cruel plans. The thief who wanted all the money for himself came to the forest with the poisoned food. The 2 men in the forest hit him and killed him. Then they ate the poisoned food and died. Thus, these evil people meet with an evil end.